I feel like it's Monday vibes, even though I know it's Thursday. But like I'm feeling slow. It's also like TMI, but like that time of the month where it's like, okay, it's time to slow down. I'm not feeling like the energy levels are just, you know, you know. Does anyone follow their cycles? I'm so curious. You do, yeah. I'm so curious because I didn't for so long, and I felt, well, it just caused like so much frustration and confusion because during the month I would be like, I don't know, it would be like my luteal time of the month, right? Like the time where the energy levels are slowing down and you're supposed to kind of bring the projects and activity to a halt and just kind of slow it down. And I would be so frustrated and be like, why don't I have energy? Like, what is going on? Like, what is wrong with me? And since I started, and I'm sure like you've experienced the same thing, like once I started to really know and like learn about how my body works and how it is affected by each cycle, and it's like we go through like 4 seasons every single month. And guys don't have the same. I don't know what their thing is, but we as women like are so watery and like we follow the moon cycles, and so it's so important to, I've just found so much more like self-compassion for myself since I've like realized, oh, there are different periods, different times, different seasons of the month where you're just gonna feel more energized or more productive or like more confident than other areas of the month. I don't know. It's just given me so much like empowerment and just more compassion for myself when I don't feel great. Anyway, it should be that time any day now. I'm like waiting to get there. But yeah, just feeling the low energy vibes today. So I don't know where you guys are today, but I figured let's just start with what we're celebrating today. Let's put it in the chat. I know, Dimphy, you're not going to talk today, which is totally fine. Your lovely presence is enough and great today. But yeah, just put it in the chat. What are we celebrating today? It is the 20th of June. So we're getting to the end. What are we celebrating? What has worked so far this month? What has worked? What are you feeling like good about? What are you feeling proud of yourself for? I want to know so we can celebrate with you. It's important to celebrate the progress. That's the way to keep on going, right? I heard that Whitney and Mariah recorded the Prince of Egypt song separately because of cycles. Oh, are you serious? Oh, that is so interesting. And I'm celebrating that I'm on Elevate today. Me too, babe. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad to see each one of you. Sorry, that's my dog barking. That is so interesting. And yes, like, do you feel when it affects your voice? Like, I can feel, like yesterday I tried to sing something and it was like, I had nothing. Granted, I hadn't really warmed up, so that was probably my fault. But when my voice, or like when we're talking about cycles. We're talking about the cycles of womanhood. And yeah, when I'm like on my luteal to like menstrual phase, my voice is like, no, not gonna do it today. I don't know if y'all have felt the same way. I'm on headphones too because of the dog. Oh, what kind of dog do you? I love doggies so much. My dog is a Great Pyrenees, and so he's the protector of the house. And so he will bark. Yeah, vocals are tired and strained for sure. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like, oh, there's less flexibility, just less like, less stamina. Yes. Celebrating starting up exercise routine to increase stamina, which will support my voice as well. Cool. Amazing. Oh, corgis are so cute. They're so cute. There's one in my neighborhood that we always pass by, and they're so just tiny and cute. Celebrating maintaining a positive mindset and boundaries around my work-life balance during an audition process and making it to the final round of Callbacks this weekend. Taylor, I'm so excited for you and proud of you for just like doing it, going in with your all, and making it for the final. That is huge. That's huge. Congratulations. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear how the final round goes. That's so exciting. And yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, and you're mama too. So like, I don't have kids. I have a dog, which is my baby, but I do not have children, human children. So I don't get that yet. And so that I am sure that that's a lot, like having to balance, oh yeah, working on myself and making sure my children are alive and making sure that they have what they need. Yeah. Any other mamas in here? I'm not a mom yet, except for my huge baby dog, who's not a baby. Yeah, congrats to Taylor. That's awesome. The BWIB exercise has been amazing for me. I love that exercise. And helped so much finding a mix. Yeah. Yay! So definitely celebrating finding a stronger mix. That is awesome. I have 2 grandbabies. Oh my goodness! So cute. Oh, Dimphy, yes. We're in the Dog Mom Club. Yeah. Has anybody else tried the BWIB exercise? So this one is a really good one for chest dominant mix. Whenever I'm doing like a chest dominant mix, which just means there's more chest voice, there's more strength in the exercise, right? It's encouraging more chest voice in the mix blend than head voice. Whenever I'm doing a chest dominant mix, the B, the B, the D, D, and the G are like my favorite consonants to use at the beginning and end of an exercise, because they just encourage that extra strength. So if you're looking for a great chest dominant mix exercise, you want to have your mix, but you want it to be stronger, you want it chestier than your head voice, try the BWIB. I also have really been loving the Gyug exercise, which is also kind of a low larynx exercise as well. I'll type it in the chat box. Gyug. The oo is helpful to keep the larynx down, because when we go higher, that larynx wants to spike up, right? So the oo is to keep the larynx down. It's also a really flexible vowel. The G, G, gets that strength going. The Y helps that tongue stay nice and relaxed, but also up and back. And then we finish it off with the G at the end for that extra strength. I love that one. I was working on, with my voice teacher, I was working on My Days from The Notebook, the musical. Has anybody attempted to sing that? It's amazing. I love the song and I'm obsessed with it. So The Notebook, the movie, they made into a musical, and I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard mixed reviews about it. But there's one song called My Days, and it's like Taylor says, once and maybe never again. It is a beast of a song. One, it has really high notes that she mix belts. And it's just kind of like a moving train. Like it starts out and then it just doesn't stop. It like keeps going. There's multiple places where she jumps up to these super high notes. Anyway, I've been working on, intermittently, I've been working on this song, and my voice teacher recommended the Gyug exercise. I think it gets up to like a G. Is that right, Taylor? I think it gets up to a G, I'm pretty sure. And so we did the Gyug exercise, and like I tried it before I did the exercise, and it was like larynx was way up here. It was really thin. It was feeling a little screechy. And I did the Gyug exercise. Taylor, if you attempt it again, try the Gyug. I put the Gyug exercise inside Singwell under the video tutorials. I did a tutorial on it. And I was able to do it. Have I been able to do it every time since then? No. But it's really helpful in like finding that placement. So anyway, try the Gyug exercise if you want some help. Yeah, it's Kylie, it's a massive song, but not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just a note. It's just a note. Yeah, yes, exactly. It's so exciting, even if it only clicks one time. And like muscle memory, right? The more you can get there, the more you can get there. the more you can like figure out, oh, that's how it's gonna feel. That's how I need to approach it. Oftentimes it's not even the note itself. I mean, it is the note itself, but it's also like leading up to it. I feel like on higher beltier notes, I mean, the mental part of it is like, oh shit, like here we go. Here's the high note. I better tense up. My larynx, and then we, croak. So part of it's mental, but it's also like the approach up to the high notes is like also very important to make sure the placement is where it needs to be. I think my biggest aha from joining this group is it's muscle memory. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not talented enough. Yeah, it doesn't. No, it doesn't at all. Yeah, it's all muscle memory. And it's so, it's singing is such a weird thing because we can't see what's going on. So we really have to get good at like feeling, like tuning in and really feeling what's happening and learning to be an observer, because I can definitely get in my head about I'm singing something, it sounds crappy, that was wrong, that was bad, that's definitely not what I want. Like it's just like no. Instead of, okay, that felt this way. And maybe if I tried this, it would feel this. It's just about really feeling. And yeah, it's not like playing the piano where if you hit a wrong note, you're like, oh, my finger's in the wrong place. It's muscle memory. And the more you can tune into, this is how this feels when I do that. And if I do this, this is how this feels. And really just taking stock and taking note of that, that's how you master. That's how you master it, is the feeling. But oftentimes we're so obsessed with just sounding the way that we want it to at first that we can get, choked up. Okay, I'm going on a rant here. I feel like I'm just with like my girlfriends. We're hanging out, which we are. Y'all are all my girlfriends, and we're just hanging out. But put in the chat questions that you have, whatever you need support around today. Also, if it's like too long of a question, you could just put me or just like raise a hand or whatever, and then we can unmute people. Okay, Tizanne, how do you feel about multiple vocal styles? Legit, belt, mix. Do we need to work on each one every day? I worry sometimes that when I focus on belt, is it possible to then lose the legit placement? What do you do? Or do you enjoy one style mainly? Hope that makes sense. What a great question. Loaded. I feel like we could talk about this forever. Okay, so I don't focus on one style mainly. I like to sing, I feel like when I post on Instagram stuff, like for my feed, it's mostly like pop or pop rock. So I do that. I love to sing jazz, which is totally different than pop rock. My background's in musical theater, so I do a lot of musical theater. I have this dream that maybe I'm gonna be a country star someday. Like I love some Dolly Parton. Oh my gosh, thanks for the clap. Thanks for the encouragement. Love Dolly Parton, love Casey Musgraves, like I love singing that kind of stuff. Alison Krauss, I could sing that all day. needless to say, I love singing lots of different styles. Do I work on all of them every day? No, I don't. But I feel like, and I'll say that I don't work on a lot of opera. It's just not it's just not something that I enjoy working on. It's just not something that I do often or at all. I don't sing opera. Sometimes in musical theater, I'll do like more classical styles of musical theater, or like legit stuff that's like higher and a little bit more, less pop rock. So I'll do that. But I feel like when you have really good, healthy vocal technique, you can sing anything. So I like that. And this is why I like to change up what I do for my vocal workout. So I don't feel like you need to work on every style every day. I don't feel like you need to hit necessarily every register every day. But for me, it depends on what song that I'm working on. So if I'm working on like a jazzy song, like Misty, or like something Ella Fitzgerald, something Etta James, something like jazzier and low, I'll work a little bit more on my chest voice, and maybe I'll work on some vibrato. I'll do a vibrato exercise. I'll do, maybe I'll do some like breath support exercises where I'm like letting less air, so it's like more breathy to more of a clean sound, and I'll kind of do that. But it just kind of depends on what I'm working on that day, and that affects like what I choose to do in my vocal workout. Let me go back to the question because I feel like I'm getting off of it. How do you feel about vocal style? Yeah. I think the more that you can work on all of it, not every day, doesn't mean every day, but I feel like the more that you can work on all of it, like, and I think registers is one thing. And then in my vocal workout, I like to choose a register, and then I like to choose a concept. And this kind of gets like a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, but just a little bit more of like thoughtfulness in my vocal workout. So I'll choose a register. Let's say I'm going to choose chest voice. And then I'm going to choose a concept. This could be volume. This could be riffing. This could be vibrato. This could be breath support. Any of these. This could be messa di voce. Any of the concepts, and then I will do an exercise that targets the register and the concept, and then I'll pick an exercise that can help with all three. Does that kind of make sense? That's what I like to do for my vocal workout. Let me know if that answered your question. I kind of went on like a roundabout way of answering that, but let me know if you have more questions on that specific thing. When I'm doing a lot of belty songs, like in a week, and I don't spend any time stretching the top, I feel like if you work out something for a really long time, or focus on one thing is bound to maybe get a little bit like less. So I just like to try and balance it out. Doesn't mean that I work on everything every day. Sometimes I just like today I might just rest. But on some days, I'll just do like the bare minimum. I'll just do a warm up, like a lip trill, and maybe some chest voice, connect to my speaking voice, and maybe a flageolet. And like, if I'm not singing that day, like that's all I'll do. So it really just depends. But if you have more questions on that, let me know. I'm here for you. Okay, a huge shift for me as a singer was when someone said to me, little children sing because they like the way the vibrations feel. Yeah, it shifted me from listening to feeling and trying to enjoy the feeling, changed everything. That's it. That's it. I love that. And singing, that's like a big part of the course that I'm creating right now called Love Your Voice, is like, it's not just about how it sounds. And if you really want to improve and grow your voice, the feeling part of it has to be the first part. Has to be the first part, because that's how you know if it's healthy, if it's going to be sustainable. But I feel like we oftentimes forget. I can forget. Like, singing can just be for joy. Singing can just be for me. It doesn't have to be for my feed. Not every time, I don't have to record myself every time I pull out my phone or start singing. It can just be for me. Humming is like the best thing for your vagus nerve. Did I say Vegas? Like Las Vegas? I think it's vagal, right? I don't know. But it's like a nerve that kind of like brings your stress hormones down, like connects to your nervous system. Someone correct me on that in the chat box. But like humming is like great for stress relief. Singing like boosts your endorphins. So there's lots of reasons to sing, and it's not just for, sounding great. Thoughts on vocal cool downs? Necessary, helpful? Yes, definitely. Okay, so if I'm doing something that doesn't require, basically, the bigger the song, the more athletic the song, the more I'll do a vocal cool down. I don't do a vocal cool down on everything after every song that I sing, but basically, if I'm singing something massive, like a big belty song, or something that just requires a lot from my vocal cords, to bring it back to neutral, to kind of, we've done a lot, we've done some big stuff, we've made our vocal cords like work a lot. I'm gonna bring my vocal cords kind of like back to a neutral resting place, right? The larynx back down to neutral. And for a cool down, I really just like to do descending exercises, which means I'm going down, right? I'm not going up, because the up stuff is hard. Descending, we're kind of like, we're taking it back down, we're going back to rest mode. So on cool downs, I do descending, and I just do a warm up. I just do you can do a lip trill, you can do an NG. So this could look like, but I'm going down and really just kind of getting back to a place of like where your natural speaking voice is. That's what I like to think of for cool downs. So they are helpful, and I will say necessary if you are, singing Defying Gravity or My Days or something big where it requires a lot, it asks a lot of your voice. Yeah. If Beyonce can, you can. I don't remember what we were talking about. Dang it. Somebody chat me. Vagus nerve. It is the Vegas. Oh, going country. Yes, you're exactly right. That's exactly right. And I feel like any of us can change our mind at any point. Like, there are no rules to singing. If you want to sing country one day, great. If you want to be the next opera singer and start tomorrow, like, go for it. There are no rules. The only limits are the ones that you put on yourself and the ones I put on myself. Those are the only limits we have, right? Okay, I'm trying to get through the courses. Which module course do you recommend to improve chest vibrato? Ooh. So I would go through Singwell, and I would look in the, I would look in like the video tutorials, and I would look in the, that's a really great question. And you know what, Kylie? I might need to add some in there. This is why it's so helpful to like, and while we're talking about this, if you are wanting like a specific exercise, let me know. Like chest voice vibrato or head voice vibrato or mixed vibrato. I'm gonna write this down. Kylie, And I don't remember if I have any, I'm sure I do. In the video, they would be in the video tutorials for chest vibrato. But let me jot this down and we'll get some more exercises in there for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for, thanks for the idea. I need to go through and add some more exercises. I only like singing songs I feel, but there's lots of mixed voice in them, hence why I joined the group. Vagus nerve, Vegas. Y'all are like, it's the vagus nerve. Thank you. Okay. My karaoke list is separated by genre, so I can sing whatever vibe is already in the club. Yeah, love that. I love that. Yeah, so inside this course, Love Your Voice, I'm creating like curated playlists for each register. So, and y'all will get Love Your Voice. It's included in Elevate. So if you're like ever thinking, I want to work on my mixed voice, but I don't know what to sing, we're getting some playlists together. So you can just go to the playlist, mixed voice, or go to chest voice or whatever, and have songs that you can just, have on your playlist, have on your queue. And I feel like that's really helpful because I feel like for beginners, which I wouldn't say that y'all are beginners, but like for beginner singers, for new singers who are just starting out, going like, what is chest voice? I don't know. And like, what do I even practice? I feel like the best way is just like singing songs that are in chest voice. Side note, I've also realized that a lot of like the pop songs coming out right now the choruses are in head mix, which I feel like is actually really funny. Okay, so Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter. I don't know if y'all know that song. Please, please, please. It sits in head mix. I feel like head mix is like making its like debut right now in pop music. I feel like it's mostly like chest voice, like chest belt, or like even a chest dominant mix. And there's another one. Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan. Anyway, if y'all listen to those, they're all super high, but they're not like breathy, but they are high. They're heady. Anyway, that's all I had on that. Okay. Mixed vibrato. Ooh, okay, yeah. Mixed vibrato. Got it. I think I have a mixed vibrato in there. But I'll work on putting more in there. I'm also working on getting some riff exercises because I know I've gotten a couple of requests for riffing exercises. So I'm going to put some in there. Oh, I love you guys. Finally found my people. I love this space. It's so much fun. Okay, so excited about that. I deliberately go to karaoke to practice being nervous and doing mixed belting. I mean, it's like the place to do it. Karaoke, where no one's like really, like no one really cares. No one really is like listening. So you can kind of just like try things out. Oh yeah, yes, Ariana's stuff is a lot, like it's very heady too. That's so true. Head voice is like making its like, I don't know, it's coming out. Okay, what other questions do we have? How are the courses going? Where are we in the courses? Do we have any specific questions on either an exercise that you're working on or something that you're going through in the courses? Okay, I often find that at the end of a long run of a show, singing the same thing so often, it almost feels like my voice gets stuck. I started the year understudying Carole King. Oh, I love Carole King. In Beautiful, and I've been prepping Waitress for months now. I was asked to sing some Rodgers and Hammerstein for an event recently, and that placement feels rusty. I love the idea of maintaining a vocal workout that keeps me in touch with different parts of my voice, but I still feel slightly unsure of how to build that workout. Could you give an example of choosing something to focus on and choosing an exercise that matches? Yeah. Are you wanting something for like legit? Or
Yeah, I feel you were talking earlier about the idea of like choosing a register and choosing a concept
Mhm.
that matches that. And I think my brain is just not quite sure of what that means or how exactly I make those sort of like how I triangulate that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let me see if I can say it another way. So basically, you're working on Rogers and let's just take that. You're working on Rogers and Hammerstein.
They want people
Uh,
to say we're in love.
oh, okay, okay.
And I'm living in like a gravelly country lady right now. So I was like, sure, but
Yeah, you're like, okay, we're switching gears here. Um, so, and I'll say this, if the register concept thing confuses you, like ditch it. Like it helps me, but if it confuses you, like ditch it. But an example of this would be, so if I'm working on something where I'm like, um I need a like head voice. So that would be like I'm working on something head voicey. So that's my register, right? Head voice. Um and if in the song there is vibrato, I would choose an exercise that's in head voice that is vibrato. So this exercise, um, let's think. So vibrato, we want everything to be nice and relaxed. Maybe an oo or an e vowel would be nice. Um, and for head voice, you could choose a consonant or you could just do an oo and e. If I chose a consonant and I wanted the head voice to be like pretty powerful, you could choose a B. So this could be um, you could do like a vibrato. Beep, beep, beep. There's so many options, or you could go up. You could do just an ooh. Ooh. You could do like a straight tone, vibrato, vibrato. If I'm, yeah. Does that kind of make sense? So basically, I'm just picking the register that I want to work on. Chest voice, head voice, mix, chest dominant mix, head dominant mix, flageolet, vocal fry. All of these are like vocal modes. Not everyone agrees that they're vocal registers. Some people just say that there's head voice and there's chest voice. Some people say there's vocal fry, chest voice, head voice, and whistle. Whatever helps you, because there are so many teachers that it's just a way of like learning and conceptualizing it. It helps me personally to think of like chest voice, then chest dominant mix, then 50-50 mix, then head mix. It helps me to think of each one of those as as a separate register. But if it doesn't help you, again, like don't use it. Ditch it. Whatever helps you. But let me know if that kind of made sense, Taylor. If I were working on something like classical musical theater, I might, something like Rodgers and Hammerstein, I might focus on some flageolet, some stretch, right? Especially if you've been living kind of down in the, in the depths of low stuff. Some flageolet to stretch the chords. I would probably do some like head mix. I would probably do some head voice, like pure head voice. Concept wise, I might work on some vibrato for classical musical theater and maybe some messa di voce. So this is like the getting louder and getting softer. So if I was working on this like head voice, messa de voce, it's just getting like louder and then softer. Yeah. And you can also go, what is she doing in the song? What does the music say to do? Does it have vibrato in there? Does it crescendo, decrescendo? Like, what does the music ask of me? And then I would just, say, okay, then what exercises are going to support what's in the music? Let me know if that helps. If I was working on something like Ariana Grande, where she's like up in her head voice or head mix, my register would be head mix. I would probably work on breathiness, so that kind of goes into like breath support, because she's pretty breathy up there. So head mix, breath support. I'm going to choose an exercise that's in head mix register. And something that encourages more air coming out on the exhale. Let me know if you have any more questions on that, and then I'll keep scrolling. I'm about to dive back through Mixing Made Easy and then doing the belting course, because I want to strengthen this systematically and make it easier. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. That sounds great, Kate. And I'm so excited that your show went so well. I want to see videos. I mean, I know I already like heard some of it, but it was so good. I want to hear more, and I want to know more about how it went. Switching to listen only mode, heading to an appointment. Okay, yeah, cool. That breakdown was really helpful. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me know if you have any more questions on that. Yeah, interpreting the song, like asking what do they do in the song, and then choosing exercises that like are gonna help you sing the song better. Exactly what they do in the song. Like for my days, where it's mixed belt and I'm way up there, and you can even look at we're going like really into it, but you can even look at the vowel. So on my days, what is it? We're not there this morning, but it goes up to a G and it's on a my. Okay. So what I was doing, what I do when I work on that is I've got the my, which I is a diphthong, right? So it goes from I. So I don't want that. I'm going to go, no, thank you. I don't want that. So I'm going to choose it to a ma. And what was really helpful when practicing this song was thinking of ma instead of my. I didn't even go to ma days. Because as soon as we go to my, it pulls, it constricts the larynx, spikes. I did the gug for that one because I knew that on my, it was really high. I knew that things could happen. Potentially, my larynx could spike. Potentially, I might want to open really big. Ma! Right? I didn't want that. So I chose an exercise that went against that. Instead of a high larynx, I want a low larynx, right? So I'm going to do a low larynx exercise, something that encourages my larynx to stay down. I don't want to, when I was trying my days, it was getting really thin. And I was kind of pulling back. So I chose the gug to really keep it strong, to keep a little bit more compression, encouraged my cords to shut a little bit more so that it didn't sound so thin. So yeah, I chose an exercise that was going to work against what I naturally knew that my voice was going to do when I got to the song. Which I didn't know all of this until I went through voice teacher training. Like when I was doing like in conservatory doing musical I didn't know all this stuff. So yeah, just I feel like it's super helpful to know. And if you don't like get it or don't understand, or if it's not helpful, that's okay too. Like I didn't know this for a really, really long time. It would have been really nice to know. But yeah. Let me know. Okay, can you talk through the differences between head mix and pure head voice, or demo it? I feel like this is one area I get confused. Yeah. So, yes, I'm so behind as soon as I've got videos. Okay, yeah. So head voice. I've got this cool, let me see if I can show you. And I can even like post this in the Telegram, but I've got like a piano diagram here. Let me find it. Of the vocal registration. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but basically like it tells you exactly where, and every voice is different, right? But this is for like the female voice. It tells you exactly where vocal fry starts on the piano. So I can look and go, okay, so if I'm doing a chest voice exercise, it's probably gonna start around here on the piano. So head mix versus head voice. Head mix, there's still some chest voice in there. There's probably a little bit more compression. The chords are coming together a little bit more. Head voice is doesn't have any chest voice in the mix. It's just head voice. Let me think of an example. Okay, so if I'm just doing head voice and do a, let's just do a nun, nun, nun. Nun, nun, nun. Nun, 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 nun. That's just head voice. If I do head mix, I'm gonna have a little bit of chest in there. Have a little bit more chord closure. Nun, nun, nun. And a little bit more nasal resonance. So head mix. Head mix. We want a little bit more nasal resonance. We want that soft palate to drop a little bit. Instead of no, no, no. It's still quite heady, but there's more nasal resonance in there and a little bit more compression. And again, I think I showed this in Mixing Made Easy. These are the vocal folds, right? There's lots of variations of how compressed they can be and how apart they can be, right? And then there's lots of in-betweens. So really when we're switching between registers, the compression is one of the things that changes. My vocal folds aren't going to have the same compression throughout, especially in head voice. Na, na, na. There's a lot of air. Now, I can go more powerful. Na, 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 na. I would still say that that's head voice. Na, na, na. That's more head mix. Na, or na, compared to na, na. Can y'all hear the difference? I think I get mixed up sometimes. The vibrato is a big thing. Vibrato's huge. So one of the things, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's definitely one of the things. So vibrato is kind of a way to balance the voice. So, and yes, I will say yes. The one of the things that I did was take vibrato out. Now I can still do a pure head voice. That's just head voice. And there's no vibrato, right? So the nasal resonance, and here's the thing. Instead of like going into like all the scientific stuff, that's why exercises I feel like are so helpful. Oh gosh, am I cutting up now? Okay, I think I like froze for a second. That's why the exercises are so helpful, and I feel like giving somebody an exercise rather than being like, oh, the vocal cord, blah, blah, like going into scientific thing, is the exercises do all the work for you. So a great head mix exercise, I love a neen. Neen, 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 neen. The ends for the nasal resonance. We're bringing that soft palate down. The E is a nice bright vowel. Great for head voice. Neen, neen, neen. Or you could even do a me, me, meme. It's a great head mix exercise. Yeah. Did I answer that, Kate? Let me know. Okay, thanks. Yeah, let me know if that was helpful, and what's another great like head mix exercise? Let me look at my exercises. Oh, you know what? You could do like a nin. I like a nin. Nin, nin, nin. Nin, nin, nin. Nin, nin, nin. Nin, nin, nin. Hear the compression? I don't know if y'all can hear it. There's a little bit more pinginess. I like to use the word pingy because I feel like it just hits it on the head rather than that's just head voice. But yes, if you're struggling to go from head voice to a head mix, and you often go to vibrato when you're doing head voice, take the vibrato out and see if that helps. See if that helps kind of give you a little bit more compression, nasal resonance. Yeah, the neen is great. Okay, did I miss anything? I don't think so. Yeah, does anyone else have any questions about registers or exercises? I love these conversations. I feel like they're so fun. And there's so much to them, and we could go on forever and ever and ever. But yeah, let me know if you have more questions on this. And if you're working on a song, like, and need specific targeted exercises, I would love to help you figure out like a best exercise. That's one of my favorite things. Because I feel like whenever I'm having like a one-on-one lesson, I don't do, like, I love explaining things and like going all into the scientific stuff. But when I'm just teaching somebody who's like, I don't care about all that stuff, I just want to sing it. I just want to know how to sing it in the way that I want to sing it. I'll come up with an exercise for them that does the work for them. That way, they don't have to worry about all the scientific stuff. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. The reason I was curious is because I still have a feeling my definition of mix is still very narrow compared to what it could be. Want to make sure I am giving myself a chance to have more lightness and flexibility so that I'm not permanently feeling like I have to do chest dominant mix as a default. Yeah. So when you think of registers, when you think of vocal registers, I'm somebody who thinks of mix as a vocal register and also head mix and chest dominant mix. These are all modes or registers. I like to think of them that way. But if you think about it, there's probably like an infinity of vocal registers because like the piano is just like a set of notes. But like, what about the notes that are underneath vocal fry that like we as humans probably can't hear? Or what about like the notes above whistle tone? Like, you know, like dogs can hear like way high notes. Just because we can't hear them as humans, I'm getting into like the woo-woo, sorry. But just because we can't hear them as humans doesn't mean that there's not like an infinity of frequencies, because that's all that sound is. It's just different frequencies. So I like don't get stuck in the, I don't know, in the structure or like I have to know exact. Yeah. Because there's an infinity of registers. And I'll say for mixed voice, mix is a spectrum. So there are about 1 million variations of mixed voice. You could do 80% chest voice, 20% head voice. You could do 82.9% chest voice. Like there are many, yeah. And that's why it's like, I don't need to think that hard about it. If I'm doing a mix and I want it to be more chesty, more strong, more powerful, I'm gonna add more compression. I might have a more open vowel or try and open my vowel more to give a little bit more of that belt style, because chest dominant mix is belty. It's a belt. If I want to do a mix that's more light and heady, more head resonance, more, by Kylie, more nasal resonance, lighter volume. So instead of getting, because I understand like, I don't know how to like go about figuring out each register, like each way that you can do mix. What if you just approached it as like, make it really, really simple. If I want a more powerful mix, there's going to be more chest voice. More chest voice is more compression. There's more strength. There's less air. If I want it to be more heady, yeah, it's going to be lighter. Or you can experience it on an exercise. So if it's helpful to like have exercises that go, okay, I'm kind of forgetting how my chest dominant mix should feel. Let me do this exercise and kind of remember how it feels. I would try like the gig or the bwib. Bwib, 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 or gig, gig, gig. That's going to be more chest dominant mix. And those exercises are really specific in helping you feel more strength in the mix. Oh, I'm kind of forgetting how my head mix should feel. I feel like it's too strong. Let me figure out an exercise, or this exercise really helps me feel the lightness, the flexibility. Go to that neen. Nee, 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 neen. Me, 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 me. Pull it back. Let it be lighter. I know it's got more head resonance. I know there's some nasal resonance in there. So maybe just having exercises that that feel good in your voice, that kind of remind you, instead of getting into like the headiness of it all, go, oh, I know how that sounds. because I do this exercise and then that's head mix. Or I know how this sounds. It's chest dominant mix. The gyug gyug gyug. Did we do the gyug? I feel like we did. Yeah, I feel like we did. Yeah. Does that help, Kate?
Yes, it does. I can unmute. Is it okay if I unmute
Okay.
myself?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I think because it totally helps. And what I realized as you were speaking and kind of describing this is that like I feel like if a painter has a palette, I feel like I was trying to do the head dominant mix exercises in a chest dominant mix, i.e., like I just didn't even know that there was like this color available to me
Mm-hmm.
that because I was thinking, oh, that's head voice, or I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, there's this missing color palette essentially, or
Yeah.
color in the palette. And so now I feel like with between the demoing and then you describing like just find the exercise that's a good fit, I feel like I'm good now. So that's good.
Okay, cool. I wonder if it might like would it be helpful or fun to like make one of these live calls, I don't know, like going through different exercises to help kind of make sure that we're all, it's not all going to feel the same in our bodies, but like make sure like the concept is the same. I don't know if that would be helpful or if we would want to like
I'm
take.
super down for that. Yeah, personally,
Okay.
like that sounds like my idea of a good time.
You're like,
But
I'll be there.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like that might be helpful to be able to hear somebody else. I feel like it's helpful to hear somebody else. Not that it's gonna sound the same, but it's gonna sound similar. To hear like the different kind of spectrums of like chest dominant mix, head dominant mix, 50-50. Okay, what if we did that like, I don't know, maybe the first July of the month? The first, I think, okay, so it's July 4th, so I'm gonna have to change that. I'll do that in the Telegram. Oh yeah, Taylor, what's up?
No, I'm dreaming as you're talking about this. You know those charts that are like, do you want this? Yes. Okay, then do you go to this question? Yes. I want that version, but for finding the exercise I need. You know what I mean?
Oh
Am I
yes.
looking for like, does this feel tight? Whatever it is, I just like feel like I don't know what the right questions are to
Mm-hmm.
narrow down the like broad spectrum of exercises. It's probably just also doing all of them more and notating how they feel.
Yeah.
But I just feel like also it'd be interesting in that call to like have some version of like thing we could work with of like.
I love that. We could go through registers, but we could also go through like some concepts um, of like more breath support versus less breath support and like more volume versus less volume. Like that's all affected by the air, right? So like um low larynx position versus high larynx position. Yeah, we can definitely do that. I feel like that would be fun. Yeah, let me think about how I could kind of, yeah, put that into like a class setting and then we can definitely do that. That sounds great. That sounds super fun. Like a flow chart. Yeah. Okay, let me think on it. And we'll work on getting that set up for July. That sounds really, really fun, actually. Happy solstice. When is solstice? Is it now? Is it today? Happy solstice. It's also the first. Is that AKA like the first day of summer? It is. It is the first day of summer. Happy solstice. Happy first day of summer. Or winter, depending. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was going to say something, and I forgot what I was going to say. Let me go back to have I forgot. If I think about it, I'll put it in the Telegram. But yeah, I hope that was really helpful. And again, like knowing that mix is a spectrum, I would just play. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Okay, so the palette. I love how you said like it's like you're like a painter. and you're using like, okay, so I heard one voice teacher explain it this way. She said to get mix, to get purple, you need red and blue. That's like chest voice and head voice. To get mixed, you need chest voice and head voice, right? To mix them together. But your shade of purple can depend on how much blue you put in or how much, what was the other one? Red you put in. Yeah? So think of it as, you can think of it as like a paint palette or a spectrum of like, there are lots of variations of mix, but I totally understand what you're saying. And I feel like it would be helpful to kind of like break it down in a way that's like, if you want this, do this. If you want this, do this. So let me work on that. But it's 11:02. I will let all of you beautiful people go. Thank you so much. Oh wait, if we're doing it as a group, it'd be fun to hear the different registers in different ways. Oh, ooh, that sounds fun. If people are up for like singing, that sounds really fun. Okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. I will be on Telegram because I know that we gotta switch the July 4th date around. So I'll be on Telegram later today and we'll figure out another time, and we can definitely work on getting that class set up because that sounds really fun. But in the meantime, if you have any more questions, shoot me a message on Telegram, and I hope you'll have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. Happy first day of summer. Okay, I'll see y'all soon. Bye.